and welcome to the Work Hates podcast. I'm Bron Lewis. This is Bretty Blake. Everyone has a nightmare work story, whether it is a shit boss, a dreadful workplace, or an insufferable colleague. If you've had none of those things, chances are you're the problem.
You're the problem. Today we are joined by Bathurst winner, Supercar driver, and current Team 18 driver, Dave Reynolds.
Yay. Thanks, man. Thanks very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Bretty is so excited to have you on. He's a big car fan, driver fan, and he said, yes, and he said, let me talk.
No, I absolutely did not say that. I was like,
you didn't say it like that.
We've got Dave on, and you were like, I'm worried about asking stupid questions. And I said, Dave doesn't know fuck all about the car he drives anyway, so you can't really ask a dumb question to Dave.
So I'll have some dumb questions.
You can ask whatever.
Okay, great.
Go on. What's the first one?
Okay, I asked this question to Bretty before you came in.
I did get annoyed. It was a Bathurst-related question.
And his face kind of twitched a bit because I said, I'm worried I'm going to say something stupid. And Bretty said, like what? And I said, like, how far is a race in a car that you have to do? And then he just, his face twitched and he said, that's not a stupid question, Bron. Just ask him. Is it not?
No.
Well, fucking
it changes all the time.
It does change.
It does change all the time.
Oh, like a running race.
Well,
sometimes they're very short.
Sometimes we do short races. Sometimes we do longer ones.
What's the shortest race?
So the shortest race this year would be 130 Ks and the longest race would be 1,000 Ks.
No, that's not a race. You have to stop over and do a wee.
Yes, we do. Well, so the really long race. So the next two races we've got actually, it's called the Enduro season. So we have Sandown 500, which is 500 Ks, and then Bathurst 1000, which is 1,000 Ks. And I have another driver help me do those races.
Switch out.
What? So you switch out? So it's not even one person?
No.
Oh, it's like a tandem race.
We do 12 races over the year, and there's two events or two races over the year that I have a co-driver. So
there you go. I told you there's no such thing as
dumb. I can go do P's or whatever I want.
And then you just follow in a different car.
No. So I literally stop the car in the pits.
Yes.
The mechanics put fuel in, change tyres, and I get out of the car. He gets in and takes off again and continues on with the race.
And then you never have to do it again. You do half.
No, so then depends on the strategy. He'll like do his stint, which would generally it's a tank of fuel or whatnot. Might be 30 laps, let's say. Then he'll come in. I'll get back in and I'll continue on.
Oh, because it's laps. Oh, I'm thinking of going from like Aubrey to like Alice Springs.
Oh,
okay.
It's in a track.
It's just in a circle. Fuck, that's boring, is it not? Are you not bored?
It's not boring. No.
What do you mean?
It's not boring. It's one of the best sports
you
going.
said no questions were
It's
bad.
like I've got a gun to my head.
Yes.
If I not concentrate, I could crash and hurt myself.
So that's why you need brakes.
Yes, it breaks. Yes.
Okay.
I said there's no such thing as a stupid question, and the general public would want to know this.
Yeah,
Bron
you
also
promised
said,
me.
do you race on gravel? And I said, no.
No, that's called
And then
rally.
I said, and I said, there's, they sometimes race on the road. And she goes, what, near shops? What happens if you own a shop and he crashes into the shop?
I'm thinking, what if I have a dream? I've got a little homeware shop. I spend all my money on it. Maybe my nan died, I use my inheritance, buy a new homeware shop, little plants everywhere, really invest in it, maybe paint the walls a nice terracotta colour. I'm like, fuck, this is my dream. I'm living it. And then they go, by the way, race cars are going to come past here. And guess what? Some of them might lose concentration. Doesn't matter. They got a gun to their head. And then they'll smash their little cars into your shop. Is that possible? Is what I'm asking.
Well, there's barriers.
There's barriers, big concrete barriers that stop us from doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, so everyone's shop's fine. My shop might have to
You watch a race and I'll watch the podcast.
So you can both be learning.
And then we can talk about it
I will take you to a race and I will take your youngest boy as well. It's not
Ari.
Ari. He would love
How old's
it.
Ari?
3.
He'll love it.
He actually loves cars. He has to go to, I wonder if your son or daughter's like this as well. He has to go to daycare. In each pocket, he has to have a
car.
What are they called? Hot Wheels.
Yep.
Hot Wheels. He went to his show and tell today. It was the first show and tell that he's gone. He took a ball, not a car. Every single boy is going, I've got a car. They've got their little names on it. It's so cute.
So adorable.
He came and showed me all his trucks that he has in his room, and I loved it. I was having a great time in there. He had way more toys than I had. I had like 3 toys growing up. That was it, and one of them was like a stick.
How did that happen? Did we just end up spending more money on toys, or the toys got cheaper?
I think the toys got cheaper. I remember them being fucking expensive.
Our parents were really poor.
I think it was a mixture of both.
I
remember the time, I think it was Terminator came out, and I love fucking Terminator. Terminator's the sickest film ever. Still, I think T2 is still the best film ever made.
Is this the one where he was drinking the milk thing, and then the
That's
sword
T1?
goes through.
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Sword
that's
goes
a
through.
T1.
Do you want to
That's
come out?
T1? Yes,
T1,000.
I'll
that's
never forget
Terminator
that.
1. Love that one.
Yep.
No, that was Terminator 2.
Was that Terminator 2?
Yeah.
I was Terminator
sword
2
through
as
the
well.
milk container.
Liquid form,
Yeah, he
and
was
then
Liquid Metal Man.
Yes,
Yeah,
terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Apparently, it's my favourite films, and I don't even know.
But you got the figurine? Was it the figurine?
Well, the figurine.
Because I got that too.
Man, that was and it
Oh.
was so expensive. I think it was like $12 or something. And I spent months going like, bum, I'll never eat again. I'll do anything. Please, just let me have it because it had. But the Terminator had this fucking claw thing that it doesn't
like
make
with
sense.
through the
why that's
milk.
it.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I wanted it so
Yeah,
badly,
okay.
and his face came off, and she got it for me, and it was the best day of my life.
Okay,
still
and then
the same
do you
one.
still have it?
No, I don't. I don't know what I think I've melted it.
Did you think it was going to come
magnifying
back?
No, me and my brother had a big cubby out the back, and we were pyromaniacs, 2 kids with ADHD. Mum was like, just go to the cubby and just do whatever.
Just burn
and
it
then
down.
she'd be running out going, is there something on fire? I'm like, no, it's up in the hills. The hills are on fire, not the cubby. And we would just be lighting so much shit on fire or smoking. Dad had these big cigars, and we used to always steal them.
How old were you? Like 7.
Like 9 or 10, just smoking cigars. And then one time we had this big cigar and we're trying to smoke it because we didn't realize you had to clip the fucking end. I don't know. I'm a 9-year-old. How would you know how to smoke a cigar?
You wouldn't know.
Mum came running out and we were like, fuck, we're going to get in trouble. So we threw the cigar into the neighbour's back area.
Oh, shit.
Whole back garden caught fire. And we're like, I don't know how that happened. And then
The neighbours knew it was you, didn't
they
they?
knew it was us instantly.
Did your mum know it was you?
She had her suspicions.
Did she stand up for you? Was she one of those mums who was like, my boys would never...
Yeah, my mum would be like, she's got into a few fights for us.
You
Go
see-
on.
Clearly in the wrong. And your mum,
Clearly in the wrong.
Yeah, my mum
Yeah.
was the same.
Yeah.
I was a
Really?
shit kid, yeah, always in trouble.
Really?
Always. But talk about pyrotechnics and jobs. My very first job or my very first business I ever started was with my cousins.
Oh, yeah?
And it was buying and selling fireworks at school.
Really?
Yeah, we were like year
Fuck yeah.
7, year
In
8.
Albury. Oh,
In
this is you-
Albury,
you had the
we
business.
used to fax in, it might have been year 6. We used to
Oh my
fax in-
God.
Sorry?
You had a fax in year 6. You were like, I'll work this out.
Yeah, so we borrowed my dad's credit card and we faxed into ACT Fireworks our order and it used
Yeah.
to come shipped to our door and then we used to sell it at school for
Did your dad
for profit.
ever know? Or
We used to
see?
pay him back.
Oh,
we
okay.
We actually accumulated a bit of money. We had probably a few hundred
Oh,
bucks.
so-
But as kids back then, it was heaps of money.
Yep.
And then one of my other cousins or my mate across the road stole the money. We can't figure out which one it would be, but suspicions later would come down the track and smarter heads would prevail. And it was probably my friend who ended up being a junkie and ended up in jail anyway.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like,
It all
clearly
comes out.
that
I reckon
him.
it was him.
Yeah, I reckon that was him, yeah.
Do you reckon it was the friend that's got a brand new bike? Yeah. I don't know.
So your dad knew you were buying these because he was
Yeah,
coming up
yeah.
on his... Okay, all right, great.
We went to him. We said we're going to start a business and we're going to buy and sell fireworks and sell them at school. So
And at no point was your dad like, that's kind of
seems-
dangerous.
I'm going to blow some kids' hands
no,
off.
not really.
No,
not really.
that's country dads. Like, yeah, whatever. Who gives a fuck? Yeah.
Just
how
don't
did
let them
you-
off in school. I think that was our only thing.
Oh,
really.
okay.
Yeah.
Not during class. Wow, some
cousin
really
did.
strict rules. Oh, wow.
But it
okay.
was like a 30-cent firework, and it was like just a shit. It was called a little bumblebee.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it used to light it, little 30-cent firework, and used to like spin and go up. It was
Yep.
terrible. Cost us 30 cents, and he sold it for like $5.60. Huge markup.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a huge markup here. But I wish I had access to
remember that.
fireworks as a kid. That's so
no.
exciting. We didn't have it. You can't have them in Western
you
Australia.
would be dead,
not?
Brett.
I don't know what. They're illegal. They're illegal now. Pretty much
Really?
everywhere besides Canberra is the only
need to
place
be-
you can
I
buy
don't-
them.
And Darwin.
Yeah, and Darwin,
Yeah.
they've got that
Yeah.
big fucking...
But
NT3
you'd have no
fireworks.
hands, Brett, if you and your brother had
I
access.
would not be here.
You'd be dead.
I'd be a fraction of the person I am now. I'd have like
Slither.
stumps and shit. I wouldn't be able to hold the
you would.
microphone.
We do dumb shit, but we do smart dumb shit. Don't we? Really?
Oh,
Well-
yeah, I've got no
Like,
injuries and
you
I've
see what
caused
I
a lot
mean?
of
Like-
fires.
But did
what
you
I
say
mean?
you've broken your penis twice?
I have, but that's got nothing to do with
Like,
that wasn't my fault. I've only broken it once.
explain.
Oh. How?
When did I tell you about my broken dick?
Last night.
Did I?
Yeah.
What, while you're in bed?
It does sound like that,
It
doesn't
does
it?
sound like that.
Doesn't it?
Also, we've got a supercar driver on. Why are we talking about my broken dick?
Because you're saying you have no injuries, and I was like, oh, that's a lie. You told me last night.
There must
true.
be a good story.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not really. Well, I was having sex with a girl, obviously, and then she was a bit.
Absolutely nothing obvious about that, by the way.
Okay, that
Not
sounds like a
bit.
fucking burn. I was having sex and she got carried away, and it on the way back in it buckled, and then it went purple.
Instantly.
Like instantly, like the color of Grimace straight away. And then I was in such a panic. I was like, fuck, I've broken my dick or whatever. I don't know what to do.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, I was like, my dick's
Did
broken.
you blame her? You've broken my dick.
Yeah, but it was swollen. So it was like, fuck, it's looking good. You know what I mean? Like, I took a photo of it swollen. I was like, I'm going to keep that because it looks good. But the shade didn't look good.
Just put in black and white. Yeah.
Yeah, black and white,
Yeah.
noir filter.
Did it go blacker?
Yeah. Oh, no, it stayed like a deep purple. And then it twisted, and I was like, "This can't be good." And
Did you go to the doctor?
Yeah, I ran to the doc. We got to the doctor straight away.
Do you know this story? This is
No.
the first time I'm hearing
I'm
it.
telling you,
I don't think I've ever told this story before.
Oh my
But
God.
here we are. So I ran to the doctor with her, and the doctor goes, "You've broken your dick, and it could be a permanent issue. That's a fucking problem, and your penis could forever be in a weird shape."
No.
And I was like, and he goes, the only way to tell is you need to get an ultrasound. And I said, well, I need to get an ultrasound. He goes, there's no ultrasound places open today, unfortunately. And I was like, fuck off. So I Googled, and there was one, and it was a birthing clinic for pregnant ladies.
Yeah, well, that's part of that. You need that for that. Okay,
Well,
good.
but it was only for pregnant ladies. But I was like, I need to know whether my dick's fucked. So I I booked myself in, and I went with the girl, and they're like, oh, are you guys expecting? And I was like, no, it's for me. And the lady's like, why? I said, I've broken my dick and I need you guys to ultrasound it. And she's like, we don't do that here. And I was like, please, I need to know whether it's permanently fucked.
They're always doing gender reveals there. They're just doing one for you. Am I a boy or a girl?
Yes.
I can't believe that's a true story.
Yeah, and then I went in there and the lady's like, put the gel on, and she's like, I don't normally do this.
Did
and
you wash
she's rubbing
it?
it up, and
She's
she's
like, give it here.
Yeah, I was like, I've done this heaps of time, and she was ultrasounding my dick, and I was like, well, I don't normally break my penis, but we're both here.
Oh my God.
And then she took all the photos, sent to the doctor, and the doctor said it's gonna be fine. Because it was
But was
no
it still
lesions.
bent? It was still
It
twisted
was,
and weird?
he said,
was it sore?
He said yes.
Stay off it for a month.
He said don't touch it for a month. Don't masturbate for a month.
And did you do that?
Course not. I figured out a system. If you just rub the head, you're sweet. There's no friction needed. Anyway, I'm glad we got one of my heroes on so we can fucking hear that story, Bron. Why'd you back me into the corner on that one?
Well, you said,
You just took it
oh my
around.
God. Well, we were going to have a nurse on, and I was like, if you have any stories about any injuries, and
I should have
Brett
told
goes-
her that
Yeah,
story.
I knew you
When
did
did you
it.
have a nurse on?
Just
before.
today.
No way.
And Brett goes, yeah, I've had heaps of injuries. I've broken my dick twice. And then I was like, oh. And then he was like, anyway, I'll see you
So hang
tomorrow.
on. It happened again.
Well, you said twice. You're lying to me.
I think I lied to you. I think it was
It's
once.
such a
Banjo
weird.
string.
It was the band. Yeah, it wasn't the banjo string. It was the cartilage or something.
The cartilage.
The cartilage. I don't understand it, Dave, because apparently there's two big blood vessels either side that make it inflate, and if you get lesions on one of them, it can like redirect the way the blood. Either
Do you know
way,
what the banjo string is?
the
though?
banjo is the bottom one.
Yeah, that's like the one that stops it from the skin rolling all the way down to the base.
That's what that is it?
Holy shit.
That's
God,
called-
this
I
is a
think- I
penis
think-
heavy episode.
I think it's called a frenulum. That's the
Oh,
real-
that bit of.
yeah.
See, but
Okay.
I'm circumcised. Oh, that's what
still have it?
I've got two injuries because I had an adult circumcision. That was the two G
You become
story.
Jewish.
I did, yeah,
No
yeah.
way.
At the age of like 12.
Actually.
No, you
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah,
it
because-
wasn't a religion thing.
No, it wasn't a religious thing.
Oh,
No. Sorry, I just said I became a Jewish person down there. I mean.
Yeah, well,
I
there's
got
a
the
bit
stick.
more. Yeah, there's probably
Yeah.
a few more
Was
things,
that a
few more
forced thing, or
steps.
you sort
No,
of
no,
said,
it.
It's a
Hey,
dare.
Mum, can I get my dick
Mum, I'm bored. Can you knock off
this off?
half of
And
my
Mum
dick?
goes, yeah, okay, I'll just sharpen the knife.
I've got a firework here, so
Yeah.
We'll blow it off.
Blow a pot up. As an adult, maybe it was year 7. Sometimes in 1 in 8 people, the foreskin
Yeah.
doesn't keep growing with the body.
yes, I know. People in my family have had to have this.
And then I had to get
Really?
an adult.
So this is a
circum-
true thing?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
true
And
thing.
for New
Fuck
Year's
off, no
Eve,
way.
because I couldn't walk, but I still wanted to hang out with my mates on New Year's. They gave me a wheelchair. So
Piss off.
I was in a wheelchair.
You don't get a wheelchair for a
Well, I couldn't.
circumcision.
Yeah, I was in a
No, you
wheelchair. I
don't.
did, and I got the wheelchair all night, and I was cruising around the wheelchair because I had a fucked dick.
But did you tell people
No, I told everyone I had a hernia
in your dick?
in my dick. No, and then because no one, kids were like, I don't know what a hernia is.
Yeah.
So I just was cruising around this wheelchair.
Sorry, I didn't know what a hernia was.
Yeah, and then I had, I've had a torsion of the testicle as well. I've had a lot of dick injuries.
Yeah. So when
There's a lot to unpack here.
there is. Look,
It's all specifically in one area.
is it all right now? I feel it works
It's
all right.
fine. It works great. Well, sometimes if I've had a few whiskeys, maybe not. But you know, we've all been guilty of that. You know,
No, my dick's fine.
your dick's
So
fine.
yeah, it is
Prove it.
absolutely fine.
Prove it.
Don't prove it.
So before we hit record,
Yeah.
we asked you, have you listened to the podcast? And you said no. I just need you to know we very rarely talk about Brett's dick this much.
Okay, good.
Okay.
We normally save it for after the podcast or the Patreon.
He just
Yeah.
calls me when I'm at home with my family and says, I've got a broken dick.
We haven't asked one car question, and it's
I
been
have,
22
and I have,
minutes.
and your face did the twitchy thing, and then you made fun of me,
No,
and then
I didn't.
I had a hypothetical dream about a terracotta shop, and then here we are talking about your dick again. It always
Literally
comes
talked
back
about
to
it for
this.
10 minutes. It's a good story though. It's
But
awesome.
how did you get? So you also said that you were getting too old to the like this. You hinted at retiring at some stage.
No,
39, you
retiring.
said you are.
Not retiring.
No
39,
retiring.
yes.
But is this
485.
old for? Is this because I just
Not
felt
really,
like
with
do young
racing,
people?
honestly, you can do it for as long as you want.
Yeah, this is what
Like
I would
Russell
think.
Ingall,
Yes.
he was
How
an old
old's
bloke.
he?
I think he was racing. No one really knows his real age. He's like
Oh yeah.
Gandhi or God or someone. No one really knows his age. But he was like, I could guess like 55, I think.
And
when
he was
finished.
just, and it was fun because I mean, I'm not saying it looks easy,
No.
but like you don't have to be like. Do you have to be physically fit?
Of
for it?
course you
You
do.
got to be fit, yeah.
Why?
But like the older you get,
Don't do the fucking face, Brett. I'm asking questions which are normal. You said ask
I
questions.
know,
you
and I
think
said I
people
wasn't
would
going to get
ask.
angry either. Okay, continue, Bron.
Why do you have to be physically fit to sit in a car?
it's really hot and
Okay.
it's long races. So like
They
a
are
normal
long, but you get a
race-
break all the time.
Sorry?
You said that. You just get
only,
breaks.
only every now and again.
2 breaks.
But then there'll be parts of that
Two
race
racists.
where I'll be in the car for 2.5 hours by myself, and it's 25.
Far out.
And it's 25 degrees above ambient temperature. So if it's like a normal day, if it's 25, it's 50, 55 for us. So
Why? Why is it so hot in there? Were
because,
they
like,
aircon?
you know, energy makes heat, so the
Sure.
brakes are really hot. The
Yeah, that sounds horrible. Why?
the
But is that?
engine's really hot. The exhaust, it's really
Yeah.
hot. There's no insulation. Like there's no carpet. There's no
Oh yeah, to make them faster.
yeah. It's all built for speed, so everything gets ripped out. All the comforts get ripped out.
And you're wearing lots of
And
stuff.
I'm wearing a 3-layer suit, and it's like really hot, and I die. Like the skinnier you are, the harder it is, which is kind of bad. So the fat
Oh.
in our sport, the fattier you are, the easier it is because you store.
Oh, so you
more.
don't have to be fit.
Well, you kind of got to be fit because you know you want to be fit for your life, don't you? And like
Oh, so you don't, but you don't
and
have
also
to. Are there any fat cunts in there?
If you're,
Yes.
Are there
if you're
are?
massively
well,
fat,
like there's like bigger guys that actually do the races easier because they store more water. They take longer to heat up, but they take longer to cool down. So, you know, there's pros and cons for everything.
but also then the weight of the car goes up. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yeah.
If,
Your
if
centre
I'm
of gravity.
20 kilos over heavier than David in the same car, then you know what I mean, that's extra 20 kilos more
So,
fuel.
would your manager, would your coach, you have a coach? No. Okay. Again,
I am
that's a
the
question
coach.
I have for sports
Some
people.
people might, yeah.
Some people might. Okay, so your manager, the person who's in charge of you, if you turn up and you were like, and you had like a big summer blowout,
Yeah.
okay,
My team would go, "What have you been doing?"
and then they'd say, you have to lose the weight.
Well, they'd say, "Hey, you got to sharpen up, or we'll tear up your contract."
Really?
But then if you in your fat state won a race, they'd forget everything. People have
Okay.
really short memories in sport.
As long as you're winning, they don't give a fuck.
You
Okay,
can,
so you could
could
be
be
a
the
big
biggest
fatty.
asshole in the world, like Harvey Weinstein asshole, and
Yeah.
if you win races, they don't care who you what you do in your spare time.
I just would have
You know
thought
what I
that
mean?
20 kilos in a car wouldn't be that much. Like 20 kilos, I think like one of my kids
But you're talking
weighs
about
that.
fractions of seconds, like
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
like between first and
Yeah.
second, any single thing you can do to get an
Mm-hmm,
advantage, you'd fucking do it.
Every 10 kilos might be half a tenth a lap. Let's
Okay.
say.
So
over-
do they
over
weigh
100
you
laps.
before you, like a
They
boxer?
they weigh us at the start of the year.
Yes.
And then kind of expect us to be that same weight.
They just
Yeah.
trust you. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
and
Poetry.
if I lose weight or put on weight, I'd sort of reweigh myself. I'd go to Supercars and say, "Hey, I've put on weight or lost weight. Can you reweigh me?"
And is that like just out of respect you do that, or you have to? You're
No, that's
obliged
just-
to.
Oh, well, it's a bit of both.
See, that's interesting. You would never have asked that,
No,
Brett.
I wouldn't have asked that.
And
I'm
you
very,
know what?
I'm very proud of you,
It's
Bonnie.
interesting, isn't it?
It's very
It's actually really
interesting.
interesting what David said.
It was very interesting.
my answer.
And
I
I'm
mean, my
proud
question.
of you and your great question.
Thank you very much. Then do you have a question, or do you want me to ask one that you will hate?
No. Who is just out of curiosity, who is the person you've enjoyed racing against the most out of your entire career? Who did you have the best battles with? Who pissed you off the most? You know what I mean? That's what I want to know.
Oh, there's heaps of them.
Yeah.
To be honest, I never really liked racing any of them.
You hated
everyone.
everyone.
They're all, if I'm racing them, they're in front of me or they're trying to pass me. So I'm fucking piss off. Like, I'm trying to win the race. I'm trying to do the best for my team or whatnot. So fuck off, get out of my way.
Yeah.
Do you yell while you're driving?
If something like sometimes I do, but rarely. Rarely. I'm pretty calm, pretty.
Do they have a mic in there? Like, can they hear you?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. So if you're losing your temper, everyone's listening to your little mantra on the side, giggling.
Apparently, like the people in TV land can hear it, but not people in my team. Unless I press the talk button, which I've got like a two-way radio system. We can talk to the team. I have to press the button to activate it. Then I can talk to them. They can talk to me. Well, they can talk to me anytime, but I can only talk back once I press it. But in TV land, apparently there's like a microphone all the time that they can hear everything.
So you can't, no slurs.
Hey?
You have to keep the lid on those slurs.
No, you can curse as much as you want.
They wouldn't put it on. They wouldn't be like, fuck you. And they're like, we'll cut to his fucking camera now.
But I would.
Yeah.
If I was running the ship, I would do.
Yeah, it would be more interesting. Yeah. If someone's losing their fucking temper.
This
guy's a piece of fucking shit. Cut to that camera. Hell yeah, dude.
But I've had some really good battles with, who have I had good battles with? You kind of come across everyone, no matter if they're at the front of the grid or the back of the grid, because eventually you're going to be at the front one day and you're going to be at the back one day. So you kind of see everyone throughout the year. So you kind of battle with everyone, really.
Hate everyone.
Yeah. Everyone. Or Rick Kelly.
Yeah.
You remember Rick?
I do remember Rick. He's retired now.
The hardest bloke to pass.
Really?
The worst, yeah.
Really?
Like, we would literally strategize our day to jump him in the pit so we couldn't get anywhere near him. So we couldn't, because normally he always pit really early and undercut everyone. So he'd come into the pits, put his tyres on early, get the benefit, get the gain, and then just hold everyone up because he was just notoriously fucking hard to pass. So
why just like if he could see you moving,
so
he'd
we used
go,
to strategize around him, if you know what I mean, to try and get in front of him so he couldn't fuck our day. There's all this kind of weird shit that happened. It was funny as. But he doesn't race anymore, so
Too
you
fat.
don't have to worry about him. No, he just retired.
He's retired. He's still, and
he's a Mildura boy.
He's a Mildura boy. I still, even though he's he's from the Holden world.
Yep.
And that's yuck, isn't it?
It's to Brett because I'm a Ford man. I've grown up as Ford. My dad's Ford. We've always gone for Ford drivers. That's just how our family is.
That's like if my dad's an alcoholic, I'm an
alcoholic. Correct. I don't know what it is. I don't even know what it is, but I can't physically. There's something emotional about it because one year at Adelaide Fringe, I was doing a promo.
The Fringe.
Yeah, it was the Clipsal 500.
It was always on at the same time.
Yeah, which I loved. And I
hate
every comedian fucking hated it besides me. I was like, put me on the exact same week as the Super Loop because during the day I can have the best day in my life.
And then go work at night.
And then go do a comedy at night. And then all the fucking guys who are watching that will come and see me because I got a fucking mullet. I used to sell out. It was
you really?
awesome.
No
Yeah.
awesome.
The loosest crowds as well. They're they've been day drinking, but so had I. So it was sick. But one year...
It was really weird, like, combination, because that time of the city, or that time of the year, there would be, like, the Fringe and the Supercars, so there'd be all the bogans, then all these, like...
Art, hippie.
Cabaret.
Really odd people.
Yeah,
So it was a really good mix of people.
Just
there.
the biggest culture clash ever.
Yeah,
and then
bearded lady.
Yeah, it's fucking... I used to love it.
It was hilarious, yeah.
I used to sell so well. I was like, fuck, bring it back.
So then anyway...
But one year, they had... It was... me and Tommy Little had to go do a promo for the Supercars, and I was meant to go in Shell Racing to do a lap. I can't remember the driver. Maybe it was Di Pasquale. No. Anyway.
What year was this?
Ooh, 4 years ago? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was meant to be in a Ford car, and then last minute, they switched me into Holden with Van Gisborne.
Oh.
And I had to, and they go, oh, you're going to have to put on. I was like, hang on. Stop. I've got to call my dad. And I had to ring my dad
to find out
to let it know that whether he would disown me or not. I said, Dad, I'm about to get into a Holden. Are you going to hate this? And he's like, who's the driver? I was like, oh, it's Van Gisborne. He goes, oh, yeah, he's pretty fucking good, isn't he? And I was like, yeah, he's good. And he's like, all right.
You can do it.
I had to check with my dad whether it was okay for me to get in the car. And I was so dirty that I couldn't be in a Ford that day.
But were you nice to this man? Pasquale
he wasn't that nice to me.
He's not the nicest person.
Isn't it? Why
Not
would
really,
he
no.
probably was like, come on, get out of the car?
In his defense, he had to drive, like, because obviously part of your job is
You do a lot of these
corporate
laps, so
Oh,
we do ride days where we have like 100 people sit beside us and we take them
no.
for laps.
fuckheads like me going,
This is
And
awesome,
are they,
yeah.
are
But
they
like-
fans? Are they paid
they're
to do it?
sponsors, fans, and all that stuff. Like they're really good days if you vibe off the person's energy that is doing it for the
Yes.
first time. But like they can be really long and hot, and there's no cooling system.
Oh my God.
there's
You have
shit
to 100
tyres,
laps.
Like it's like, well, it's just might be 100 laps, could be 50, whatever it is. But it's just
Oh.
a really, really, really a long day. Like it's actually really hard because
And are
you gotta
they asking-
concentrate.
Yeah.
The car's a bucket of shit. The tires are shit. It's hot. Like you've just done a million laps, and
And
you've
can they
literally-
talk? Are they talking to you?
Well, they
No.
can't. You can't hear them. It's that loud.
oh, he
it's
heard
perfect.
me.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah. Because
So hang on, you went. This is Adelaide track.
Adelaide
That's
track.
probably the best track for
Is
a ride.
it?
Like it's
It
fucking
was-
hectic. It's
I
awesome.
still think about it. I got
It's,
3
like,
laps.
really cool.
It was one of the best things I've ever done, and
It is
It was so
awesome.
cool, but I could see
Okay.
it was an exhausting day because I was like the 4th guy or 5th guy that got in. But most of those
that's not
corporate
many.
guys didn't give a fuck. But
you
it
were,
was
like,
me, and I was
beaming.
like, "Hey man, I'm so excited to get in this car!" And he's like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like, "All right, I'm getting in there." And I was in because you can't really turn to talk because you got the helmet and shit on.
And you're strapped in.
And you're strapped
Yeah,
in tight.
right.
And I remember just going, "Fucking send it, brother!" And then he like takes off, and I'm like, "Fuck yes! Yes!" And I was just screaming at the top of my lungs for 3 laps.
Yeah.
And he was going so fucking fast, and like the mirror was, I was like, "Ah! Ah! I love this! This is the best day!" And I just kept screaming the whole time, and he would have been like, maybe I had 10 laps. He's like, "I've got to get this cunt out of the car."
Get him out of here.
He is somehow louder than the engine. It was fucking awesome, and my heart was racing, and I got out and I just started hugging all these mechanics, and they're like, "Get the fuck off me!" Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, for
So you haven't-
Adelaide is like the best track for a ride. So yeah, I'm kind of jealous.
Oh, man.
because I'd love to go for a ride there. Even
Yeah,
though
right.
you drive it, like going for a ride is something different. Especially with someone else that drives slightly different. As a driver, you kind of expect certain things, and
Yeah.
if they do something different, it sort of freaks you out.
Okay.
And that's why the ride is still cool for us.
So before how did you get into this? Like, was your
my
dad
job?
into this? Yeah.
Yeah, my dad, he was a dentist.
Oh,
So,
that's
yeah, it's
yeah.
completely
Beautiful
different.
Strange.
teeth, though. There we
very
go.
Nice, they're very good.
But his passion was racing, and he had a rally car late 80s, early 90s. And then obviously we come along, and he bought us all go-karts. We went go-kart racing.
Right.
So that's how I sort of fell into it a little bit. But
Because
I
it's quite an
realized,
expensive sport, is
It
it
is-
not?
yeah,
so you
pretty
have to.
expensive,
Your
yeah.
family has to have money.
yeah,
to be
generally
able
you
to
have
do
to
it.
have,
Yeah.
you have to come from somewhat money or have good backing. But I realized I was a retard kid at school. Can I say that?
Yeah, you just did.
I just did, yeah. I was like, yeah. We
Okay.
call it rear wheel. I can't even say it.
You're
RWR.
proving the point.
rear
Rear
wheel retardation.
Oh,
That's like an actual term
No.
in motor racing. Yes.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Holy
so that was me at school.
moly.
And I realised
supercars,
I'm
babe.
not going to be a road scholar, so I'm going to have to do something else. And I picked motor racing. I was reasonably good at that and sort of stick to it. And here I am.
Okay.
Because Dad loved the supercars. That was our thing that we
Yeah.
watched together, you know.
But he didn't have enough money.
But this is what I thought. I was like, well, because Dad loves tinkering with his car. Not a good car. It was a Ford TE Cortina. It was a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's
right?
alright,
Still
it's
fuck.
fine.
I love that car.
Does he still have
You
it?
could have borrowed ours.
No, he just got rid of it. Fucking a collector bought it off him, and the collector's got an XB, an XY, and my dad's TE Cortina, which is insane. But yeah, I was actually annoyed that he sold it and didn't let me know because I kind of fucking wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just part of your fucking
Yeah,
family or whatever, you know?
absolutely.
But because Dad was always a petrol head, everyone in our street was Holden Ford. That's just how we grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
That's
like,
awesome. That's really cool to
yeah.
hear that.
we
We had a Toyota Tarago. Is that cool? Or?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys.
No,
Sorry.
it's not.
I'll let you keep talking.
We had so
Sorry,
it
guys.
was always the big rivalry in our street, and I was like, well, Dad loves motorsports that much. Fuck yeah, this is easy. I'm gonna take up go-karting. He's gonna love that. And he's like, absolutely not. We did not have enough money. It was such an expense. Like even getting the
Yeah.
go-kart was fucking.
You had to buy your own. You couldn't just borrow them.
Nah, and then it's like you go through tires, fuel. It's just fucking.
Consumables, yeah.
Yeah.
So probably to do like go-karting properly, it's probably going to cost you maybe 20 grand a year maybe.
No.
Which is like really entry level stuff. People would spend up to 50, 60, 70, 100,000 bucks
Holy
just on
hell.
go-karts.
And what are they
Insane.
like? that means obviously there's less people going into it, and so the chances of becoming successful are higher.
Yes.
But how hard is it to become successful in your sport?
I don't know. I'm still trying to achieve it.
You have though. You have.
You've won heaps of fucking
Brett
races.
said you won Bathurst, whatever that means.
Motor racing, because I race against like 25 other guys.
Yeah.
You got a way less chance to win a race, and then you throw in like the competitiveness of each team. You got even less chance unless you're in the best team. Mm-hmm. Where on a normal sport, rugby, cricket, tennis, you're playing one other person or one other team.
Yeah.
So you got a 50% chance of winning
Sure.
or losing every time you play, where our percentages are so small. So in motor racing, I always say, I don't know, I fucking hate saying it, but it's true. You win, you lose more than you win. You know what I mean? Just based on the percentages. So when someone says you're successful, you go, fuck, I don't feel it. Like,
Yeah, I lose all the time.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
did
that's
you
what it feels like.
did you win Bathurst? Brett said you
I
won
won
Bathurst.
Bathurst in 2017.
How far do you race for that?
1,000 Ks. Bathurst 1,000.
1,000.
You were going to ask a
1,000.
question like, how far do you think it is?
No, I was
No.
actually going to say, how far do you think it is?
Yeah, that's
Well, yeah, okay. And
Yeah.
I would have said, go fuck yourself, Brett. I don't know. That's the point.
It's
That's
like
the reason
title
I'm here.
dictates
Yes.
behaviour, hey.
But I also,
Bathurst 1,000.
my dad always used to get angry at me because our thing that we do together is me and my dad is every year we watch Bathurst together. It's our little
That
thing.
sounds
Yeah, cool.
very gay.
No,
It
it's
is.
awesome. It's a
It's
great day.
beautiful.
Chuffy,
It's,
I'm
it's the
kidding.
only nice thing I bond with my dad.
I'm kidding.
And one year, I woke up, I was hungover as fuck, and I missed 3 laps.
Oh, no.
And my dad was pissed off at me the
So
whole
he should
fucking
be.
day.
But how fast is one lap? Like a
Like 2
second?
minutes.
2 minutes.
Oh, so
I missed
6
3
minutes. Yeah,
minutes.
okay.
And then the following year, I got to go and I got redemption. And this is when I was monster racing, by the way. So sorry, but I switched. I followed my guy. But I went to Bathurst that year, and I got on TV at Bathurst.
Oh.
Yeah. They cut to because I was drunk and I was cooking sausages, and we had like a TV up on the hill, and I obviously looked like a bogue. And then they got to find cutaways of fuckheads, and they're like, "Oh, here's one," and there's me on the TV going,
There's the
"Yay, mum!"
there's the epitome of Bathurst.
Yeah,
Right here.
it was me, and I got on.
The immortal eyes.
I got on
Oh,
TV,
wow.
and that was one of my highlights as well, being on the television at Bathurst.
So
Fucking
this
sick.
these is what your fans look like? Is this what Bretty's what you look? The people who slide
He's
into
a
your
good-looking one
DMs.
Yeah, they're fucking rough up there, dude. There's a reason why that camera guy chose me. I was the best out of a bad bunch. There was some cunts who had been drinking Jack Daniels since they were 2 up on that hill. There are some real low breeds like this sport.
So part of the job, well, part of like Bathurst, when you go there, you can only have 1 slab per person per day. Like that's the maximum. And a lot of
Wow.
people come up with the bright idea that they have to go bury slabs there. So they go
No.
they go there a week before and like dig up holes and bury heaps of alcohol and.
Can you
So
imagine?
Then later on during the weekend they need piss. They just go and dig it up out the back.
That is
Can you imagine meeting
Hilarious,
a person
isn't
who
it?
goes, "Oh my god, I'm only allowed 24 beers in a day.
Yeah,
That
1
is
hour at one day.
insane.
I know, it's not enough.
Not enough."
I'm just going to bring my shovel. What for? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You don't need to know.
Take a shit in the woods. Come back with a slab. Hey.
It was.
could I just shout
It was
out?
one of the wildest weekends because it's a big race weekend. Like it's the best race in Australia.
Is it? Okay. So, David, when you retire, I'm not saying that soon, but when you retire, will you go and watch it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you love it?
Well, it's absolutely, yeah. It's a really cool race, really cool event. It's 200,000 people there.
Heaps of
It's-
buried
it's
beers.
nuts.
The heaps of buried beers.
It's
The
like-
energy's electric. Soon
Is
as you
it?
hear the cars starting, I get fucking horny. I'm smiling thinking about it.
It's Bathurst, so like the town's only got like 40,000 maybe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that their town triples in size for
Great.
a week. It's crazy, and
So,
everyone camps out. Everyone, it's just like
And it's a big piss fest, piss
Yeah.
up fest. You'll meet so many random people. You just go have beers at random people's campsites,
Yes.
have barbecues. It's like it's the coolest bonding experience with randoms. And there's no aggro or beef. It's just
It's
I
like
don't know. It's a
Meredith-
great
It
community.
used to be like quite nuts back in the day, like 30 years ago. People
Yeah.
used to like torch cars and like it was out of controls,
Oh.
and the cops came in and had to like settle it all down and make it like a family only event. And it got way out of hand back in the early days.
That
so.
sounds horrible.
Sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
So
it was
I grew
quite
up.
bad.
I spent most of my childhood in Canberra, and we
Yep.
had this thing called Summer Nats. You
Yes.
guys heard
Yep,
of it?
absolutely.
What is that? I've never went. Obviously, what
Summer
do they
Nats
do?
is like a it's
different.
well, it's like a car festival event. So they
They
have
just show their cars. They
it's
don't
like a
race
show.
them.
Yeah, it's a show and shine. There's a drag event. Is there? Is there a
Yeah,
drag
they do
event?
drag events. They show
do.
off cars. They got different competitions.
You've
But
got
it's
burnout comp.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh my god!
How would you describe it?
It's just a bogan fest.
Yeah, basically.
So,
it's the
and
same-
that's different
it's
to
the same-
Bathurst because
well,
at Bathurst
it's probably
there's a
the
race.
same clientele. But
Yes. Okay, great.
You know,
So you
this-
like both?
Yes.
Okay,
Summer
great.
Nats is where all the drug money goes. So
Ah,
if you,
yeah,
if you
okay.
made money off drugs, you buy a nice car that can do burnouts and you enter it in Summer Nats.
A
Seeing
nice
some
car.
of those cars, they're so expensive. Like an XY
Oh.
Falcon GT, they're like, I mean, most people don't care. Like they're a $200,000+ car, and these. The guy lives next door to me. He's obviously got a bit of cash and maybe works in that world, if you know what I mean, that we just mentioned before. So for his wedding, because it's a big Lebanese family, it was the best. I only just moved into the street, and then some random people closed off this section of the road with just these kind of junkies on bicycles, which made no sense. And then all these motorbikes came in, and then they had, I think it was an XW. It would have been an XW. And it just dropped it and just did the biggest burnout up my street. And the guy came, and I was filming it, and they thought I was angry. And I was like, no.
I love this shit.
I love this. I was like, fuck yes, send it. I was like, I love this street. We're going to get along well.
But they've never done it again?
I hope. No, they haven't. It's really upset me.
Well, probably because they
Have you
thought
got
you
along with
sent it.
Oh, yeah, I do get along with them. Yeah, because the son lives there and the old man lives next door. They bought adjacent houses, and every time I go to put my motorbikes on the trailer, he loves coming out. He's retired. He loves coming out having a chin wag about the motorbike and where I'm off to. So It's beautiful. Yeah, it's a nice street. He doesn't speak a word of English, but it's good.
He might be coming out to slag you off, and you're like,
He's
fuck,
probably
we get
saying
along.
something like, can you stop fucking doing this, you
Yeah,
fucking idiot?
your
I'm like,
bike
this
suck.
beautiful old man's passionate about what I'm doing.
So, David, if your kid said, Dad, I want to get into like motor racing,
Yeah.
would you say yes?
Don't know.
Ooh.
Sort of
Would you
unsure.
encourage, not yes, would you encourage it, or would you like, actually,
I'd
it's not
rather
that
him-
great?
I'd rather him be smart and go do... What? Shut up.
It's every time you say, I'd rather be smart. Like, dude, you have to be fucking switched on.
Don't.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'd rather him go to school and maybe build a business or do something like that.
Do something else.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the worst day of your career so far? Like, what is the worst race you've ever had, or it could be a
there's been that
promotional?
many of them. It's
Really?
Every weekend there could be one. It's,
Okay.
It's continuous. So
Okay, because even like when we have comedians on, we're like, what's the worst gig you've ever had? And it's always like some nightmare gig where like no one laughed, or it's in like a really shitty place, or like something's gone wrong, or the promoters fucked something up, or whatever.
Yeah.
If you could translate that question to motor car racing, what is it? Because you both laughed at me before with your stupid
So,
fucking
like-
eyes. What do you say? Motor
So, like,
racing?
Yeah.
motor
Racing.
whatever.
Motor racing.
So
Yeah,
it's
great.
like if something failed on the car and
Yeah.
you crashed, your car's destroyed, you fucking your car's in bits, you saw
Yeah.
from the impact. Like or you just like, even if that doesn't happen and
Yeah.
you're just fucking slow, if you're really slow.
Why? Why would that happen?
Well, because some days your car doesn't make grip
Why?
because you got the wrong springs in or the wrong roll
Oh,
bars.
so that's
or the
someone's
wrong-
fault.
Well, it's like it's a team decision.
Team decision, you know.
So you got the
But
wrong
wouldn't you-
roll
Okay.
type
bars,
of
wrong
tires,
spring,
whether it's raining or not.
the wrong roll centers, the wrong camber, the wrong toe, the wrong pressure, the wrong ride height, the wrong downforce, the
my
wrong wing
God.
angle, the wrong.
That's what I said. You have to be fucking
there's-
smart. It's a
Well,
science to
I
get
don't-
the car
I don't
right.
have to be smart. I've got engineers that study all
true.
this stuff to make the car fast. So,
Wow.
When David
so
was
like so the engineers. Sorry, don't mean to cut you off.
no.
I come in, I talk about my car, and they get this big spreadsheet up with all these fucking numbers on it and all
Yeah.
these calculations and shit. And that's how they determine what they need to do and what setup they need to put in the car. So you know, it literally comes down. It's not a sport; it's a science, and that's how you got to really look at our sport. It's more of a science than an actual sport.
Like breakdancing?
You wouldn't say that.
Yeah, maybe. Because I remember David was nice enough to give us a tour of the pits. Where was it? Northern
Darwin.
Darwin? Up in
Yeah.
Darwin. And I was fucking loved it. So excited just to get around. I got in trouble within 2 minutes of being there because I went on to the...
pit lane and you had shorts on.
I had
was it?
shorts and
Yeah.
thongs on, and they're like, "Get the
Darwin.
fuck out of here!" And I was like, "It's hot."
I remember you
Darwin.
posting about
Yeah,
that.
they got really angry
Yeah.
at me, and Dave was like, "No, don't worry about it." I'm like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, they always yell at
They
everyone.
always yelling at someone. And then I was like, "Dave, do you want to tell us about? Is there any way you could just fucking tell me about the car? I just want to know everything." He's like, "I don't fucking know anything about this car." Ask that
Yeah.
guy. And they're like, "Yeah, he doesn't know shit."
Well, you don't need to. You're
No.
risking
He's
your
got to drive
life.
it
Just got
fast.
to drive it fast.
Now, what is
less
the
you
word?
know, the faster you go.
There you go.
That's
Get that
great.
tattooed. In theory, I should be the
knowledge-
fastest man alive. I should be the Usain Bolt of this world. I'm the dumbest cunt going.
No, but imagine how fast I'd be in that car with all the little knowledge I have of this.
Bron,
I'd
you'd be
so
annoyed. You'd be
good.
like,
what do you
like,
mean?
"Where's the radio?"
What are you talking
You'd
about?
get irritated within
Have you
2
ever
minutes.
seen me at school pick up?
Is it fast?
Fast. I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm in there, out. I'll tell the kids.
You treat it like pit lane. You fucking in, change
no
a driver,
bang. No change of driver. I'll do
Straight
all my
in.
races.
Didn't you run over your daughter the other week as well?
Almost. Yeah. Accidentally. She walked behind the car. And I had to get out. Anyway, she just bumped her a bit. She's fine. And she just bumped her.
Traumatised for life.
And she was like, she goes, Mum! And I was like, you're fine. And then I laughed to like show her what the reaction, and kids fall down and you go, and then they go, oh, okay, it's funny. And then you laugh, like you manipulate them early.
Pain is funny.
Yeah, exactly. So I laughed and then she kind of laughed. My other daughter laughed. And then I looked around. There was another mum in a car behind me who looked disgusted. Because sure, I hit a kid.
So all
my own kid.
From her point of view,
my own one.
You reversed into your daughter, then laughed.
Yeah, to show her, to be like, this is funny. This isn't something to like feel traumatized.
Did you have to go in for a meeting with the school after that?
No one said a word. That's why I've got to get in and out there quickly because I'm scared that mum's going to be like, you drive too fast. I'm like, I'm a motor car racer.
Yeah, I know Dave Reynolds, all right?
Exactly. Okay, now is there, because
That's all right.
one...
No, it's fine.
There's one, so with the gig question, is there, and if it's not, think of one that you are willing to share.
Yeah.
What's one that keeps you up at night? That you're like, fuck, if this person...
like Bathurst 2018.
Okay, just off the top of your head?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Cool.
What's something that keeps you up at night? That's 2018.
Yeah, I constantly lie in bed. I'm like...
No. Okay, that's about a bad gig.
The biggest race of the year for us, and I had one of the fastest cars of that week, and I literally led every lap until the last like 20 laps, and my body failed. I got cramps. I couldn't. I was unable to drive the car. I'd become physically fucked. Like my body stopped working. My feet were cramped up. My legs were cramped
heat?
up.
Everything.
Well, there was heat, stress,
dehydration,
bad sleep. Like it was just a compounding effect of the whole week because we
Sure.
won the year before. So then, obviously, every news radio station network wants to talk to the winner. So I did this like fucking circus of a media run. I did like 35 appearances in 3 days, and you might do 30 in a year, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So I did literally a year's work in 3 or 4 days, and I got to the track and I was like fucking toast. So I just didn't have time to recover because just driving that track is stressful because it's so high speed, so dangerous. And I just had an end point and it was in the race when I was fucking leading.
So there's no, you couldn't, because there's a
that's
second
one
driver.
I sit there and like,
but in this, and again, sorry if this is a silly question, but like you say that you have another driver, so that do you have to like plan when you're subbing out? Or
well,
couldn't you
like
when
he was helping, but like it's my car. I drive it like probably half a second faster than him per lap. So if we put him in, we wouldn't have won the race, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Like generally, the main driver is always about half a second faster than the co-driver.
Half a second, God.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but
No.
over 10 laps, that's 5 seconds.
Yeah,
It
sure.
might be 30 laps, so that's 15 seconds.
And so does that mean in the last 20 laps, because you seized up, you didn't win that race?
No.
Okay.
Fair to
And
say
then,
no.
but even though, you did
And I
not
should
think
have
in that time,
Qualify on pole.
you didn't think I'll sub out now?
To be
Or
honest,
you thought that I will still be faster?
to be honest, I didn't even know what was happening.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
I was like, I've never had any dramas like that before in my life, and my body's just stopped working. I couldn't actually describe to anyone what was going on because I didn't really know what was going on because we're going flat out at the time.
Yeah.
We're doing, the average lap speed there's 190 k's an hour, so that's an average lap speed, and like I just couldn't process what was going on or talk to people what was going on. So
Oh, right.
it was. Do you remember that? You
Yeah, I
probably
do.
remember,
I do remember that. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't
that,
remember it, David. It's,
That's all right,
I
no.
watched it obviously, but I don't remember.
No, but
it.
it's good to hearing it because it's like you sometimes just look at the cars, but you sometimes dehumanize and you forget there's someone in there fucking driving it, and it's fucking hot, it's long, it's exhausting, it's fucking
Intense,
161 laps, and it's fucking 1,000 k's. It's insane.
It is intense.
And then, so if a lap's 2 minutes and you had 20 to go, that's 40 minutes where you were seized up.
That's what I was thinking about out there. I'm like, okay, I've got 21 laps left. That's probably 45 minutes. Can I hang on for 45 minutes?
No.
And that's when my body went, no, you can't.
Yeah.
And I literally did 6 hours of racing up until that point, and my body just had enough, and my brain just had enough. Lounsey was behind me. He started catching me, and that just put extra pressure on me, and my brain said,
Forget it.
enough's enough, and just started shutting down parts of my body that I couldn't feel the pedals anymore. I couldn't stay on full
Whoa.
throttle. I couldn't drive the car. I was cramping up.
And was
in
your
a bad
team
way.
like, are you okay? What's going on?
I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I knew that I was unable to drive, and I was trying to tell them, but I couldn't really tell them what was going on because I didn't really know what was happening because I've never experienced anything like that before in my life. So yeah,
that is
got
so
to the point
stressful.
where they just pulled me out of the car and put the other driver in, but by then it was way too late.
Yep.
We had an unscheduled pit stop, so a pit stop might be 50 seconds, so we literally went back in the pack and
Yeah.
when everyone
Yeah, that
else was
sounds
racing.
really
It was
hard.
really sad
And
day.
what did you do?
I actually cried.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
because if that's
Yeah,
the
a little
biggest
bit.
race,
Yeah.
and
Little
in 2017 you won.
Yes, the year before we won.
Sure.
So the
I like
next
how you
year
say
we turned up.
we. If I
Well,
was a
it's a team.
driver, I'd say me.
Well, it's a team. It's a real team sport.
Team sport.
That sounds like it, but it was only one driver. There's
It
a
is one
pack of
driver,
nerds.
but like in most teams, like in our team right now, Team 18, we've got about 30 people behind the scenes working
Okay.
full time jobs to race 12 times a year, and it's a full time job, and it's not just down to the driver; it's down to like the engineers, mechanics, everyone who's put their heart and soul into that car to try and make it the fastest.
And it's a fucking logistical nightmare as well
Yeah,
because they've
imagine.
got trucks and shit they got to get all across
Yep.
Australia as well. So it's
And we
It's
carry
pretty cool.
we carry pretty much. So if the car was to crash, we can replace it 2 times over in the truck. So
Holy
there's a lot of logistical nightmares going on.
So does that mean if you now that before you race, like the lead up to it, you won't do these media things anymore? You're like, I'm
no,
not.
you still got to do some.
You have to.
Still got to do some because I'm sponsored by Tradie Beer.
so you got to
Okay.
skull 10 beers before you get on there.
So,
Yeah.
So we go do like bottle shop stuff or whatever it might be. They get me to do. So yeah, I'm all about that commercial life.
Yeah, you got to do it.
You got to do it.
And
'cause
so is that
they pay to do it. They pay to be part of your team and be paid a part of my life. And
Yep.
yeah, I love representing those sort of brands.
and was that
Yeah.
the main thing? So for next year, going after that happened, what did you change for the year after? Was it like I need to work on my health? I need to work on or did you just go this is a one-off or?
I did a lot of research into whatever happened to me, and it was called adrenal fatigue syndrome. So obviously your body produces adrenaline to get you up during get you up and about. And I literally stopped making it or made less of it. So then my body started shutting parts of my body down. So but the next year no one wants to talk to a loser, do they? So no one rang me.
Oh no!
That's right. They're just. I wonder.
And
You know
now,
what I mean?
yeah. And I hope this isn't because before you said you didn't want to talk about the bad crash or whatever, that's
Yeah.
fine. I hope this isn't the crash I'm about to bring up then because I've realised I haven't researched this, but we can always cut it out if so. It was in Perth around 2012. That year, one of the cars stalled on the start line and no one saw him.
I missed it.
You weren't there for that year?
I was there, yeah.
You were there. I
Yeah,
knew
it
you.
was
I was like you were
2011.
racing that year, but then it was 2011.
Yeah.
And so you would have gone past that, but I don't know if you. I was in the audience
Oh,
for
were
that.
ya? I'll
yeah.
show you where I ended up.
Okay.
'Cause I kind of half caused that.
Oh
Really?
shit.
So you,
So
you brought,
a guy named Carl Ryan, he stalled on the grid. He would have been like 3rd, and I started like 20th. So by the time I got to him, I'm doing 150 k's an hour.
Yes.
Because obviously when you accelerate from a standing start, when I got to him, it was about 150 k's an hour.
Oh my God.
And I saw it at the very, very last second, and I just reefed the wheel like as fast as I could, right hand down, and I just missed him. But the guy behind me obviously didn't have enough time to see what was going on and just plowed straight into
At
him.
150 kilometers an
Yeah,
hour.
and the fuel tank was right at the back of the cars back then, so it literally hung behind the diff, if you know what I mean, where the boot is, and it like ruptured the fuel cell and fucking like went up like a fireball.
No.
It was epic. Yeah,
Did
we'll
anyone
have a look.
die?
No.
No.
Like
What
a few guys, like Carl burned his hands quite badly, but that was really
it was
like,
That
the
is-
biggest explosion ever.
It was
And
massive.
me and my mate were in the Tui's van, Tui's
Yeah.
U van, drinking Tui's extra dry cans, and we're right on the fucking line, and we're like, oh my god, this is fuck. And then the car goes into it. It's the biggest fireball you've ever
like a
seen.
mushroom cloud.
And we get hit with a heat wave. We're like, fuck! And then I spilled my beer and shit, and I was like, this is awesome! And get the guy out first. He was safe. But I remember ringing Dad. I'm like, I was fucking there. This is sick. And it was the best day ever. Like, it
How
was
did
so
no one
cool.
get injured? How does that no one?
Like we wear all that protective gear, and that was enough to to say.
I'll show you the footage of it. It's
That
fucking
sounds
insane.
horrible.
Cool. But then after that crash, they moved the fuel tank in front of the diff. So there's a lot more structural integrity.
Okay.
So
Oh,
that
that's
can't
good.
happen anymore. So that actually like helped our category be safer.
Well,
It was
that's great.
fucking scary. But after you knew his
Well,
right.
there's always positives come out of
Well, that's right.
bad
Even though,
things.
but you have to say that because you said at the start it was kind of my fault.
Well, it was kind of my fault. I'll show you. The
Okay.
vision sums it up.
All right, but it wasn't because what are you going to do? Text him? Careful.
Yeah.
Well, you don't
Yeah.
know time.
Exactly. You
There's a
Okay,
car
alright.
ahead, lol.
He literally plowed into him full throttle at 150 k's now. It's like quite scary.
Oh, what a hurt. Whiplash got sore. I had whiplash
probably all
before.
that stuff. But when you're on fire, you're not thinking about that. You're like,
It's pretty bad. I can laugh about it now and get excited about it. It was fucking scary, but
Yeah.
it was fuck.
Massive.
But you were like, get him the fuck out of the car.
yeah.
It was fucking intense. Well, Bron, do you have any more questions
I
about
have
racing
so
before we wrap
It's
it
many
up?
going to be
So-
like jobs I've had and
Yeah,
weird
I
shit
wanna
like
know,
that.
I wanna know,
talking so much
because we
about
usually-
cars. We're at the 55. Oh, yeah.
So, what is the worst job you've ever had?
The worst job I've ever had.
What is the worst job you've ever had?
Oh.
Doesn't have to be about race car
No,
driving.
no, no, no,
He's like,
it's not.
I thought it was about jobs. He's like, no, I'm going to
What's a
ask you
bad
every
job?
question about racing ever. I'm so excited.
I've had a few. Like I used to be a driver trainer. So
Okay.
Not like a not on the road, but on the racetrack.
Yes.
And it sounds really cool, but you literally sit beside people and they go flat out around a track, and it's like fucking scary.
Oh, because they're
Random
shit.
people.
Yeah, generally, yeah.
Just the
It can
public?
be, yeah, it can be, yeah. People have bought a high power car and they, like I used to work for Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, like all these big manufacturers, and they used to go thrash cars around. And you can control it by how much you talk to them and try and like get them to focus on certain things. But other times, like you might be hungover as fuck and you just can't be fuck talking, and then
Just let
you
them
just end up
crash.
sick, and it's just like
Wait,
It's
so
like-
who are these people driving? And people who've paid money to see how capable their car, like what their car
if
can
they
do.
buy a car, part of the deal is they get like a drive day experience, and then the manufacturer puts on these days, and
they bring their car that they
It can be
bought.
cool. Like some days can be fun, depends on who you get. But yeah, I've been fired from a couple of them.
Because you didn't let them crash.
Oh, like
That seems
I
really
get scared.
dangerous.
I'm a bad passenger, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And
Like a
maybe
backseat driver?
Maybe threaten a few people that were going
Okay.
too fast.
Well, I think that's okay because their cars aren't built for whatever your cars
Well,
are.
like at Sandown, I did a Maserati day, and they're like a high-powered car. And down the back straight, some dude I just met, he jumped in beside me. We're doing 240 k's down the back straight with a lap sash belt and helmets. Like, if something goes wrong, we're dead.
Yeah.
So, I was unhappy how he was driving, so I literally said, "Fucking dude, you're gonna slow down. I'm gonna stab you with this pen." Like,
That's violence.
so that's like a famous
violence.
line amongst us driver trainers. Anyway, another one, we did a Lexus day. It was the ISF launch. And we took all the journos out to Wakefield Park and we dropped them off at the sheds and stuff. And then we parked the cars in pit lane and we're just sitting there drinking coffee, eating whatever, pastries and shit, getting ready for the journos to finish up their spiel, and then they'll come out and drive with us. And then there's this lady from Lexus, she was a marketing girl, and she come out and fucking abused us, like, "What are you guys doing? You better like look like you're working, don't stand around and talk shit everywhere." Just like
Oh
a
my
rabid dog. It was
God.
full on. And then she stopped talking, and I'm in the back row, and then I just went, "How about you go fuck yourself?"
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Who said that?" Like just going off. And then like everyone sort of started turning around. And I'm like in the back row, and everyone's looked at me, and I just went, "Fuck, there's no one behind me." I went, "Yeah, that was me."
Oh, it's the fucking pen
she
guy
just-
again.
She just went, "No, it was the pen guy." No, it wasn't that day. She just went ballistic at me. And
Did you
then,
get fired? Was that the
Hey?
end? Did
Well,
she
then,
fire
like,
you?
My boss at the time, Luke O'Neill was his name. He took me aside. I was only 20 or 21 at the time, and he goes, "Listen, I'm going to have to fire you after that." I'm like, "Yeah, fair enough.
That's all right.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. I'll go home." But he goes, "I've got a problem. I've got no one to replace you with, so you're going to have to see out this time, and then after that, yeah." So,
I'm going to fire you soon.
You're
like at the
fired,
end of your
but can you
shift.
please help me out?
yeah, can you stay? But after this, you're fired. I'm like, "Okay, cool." So then it's just wild time. It's like the boys go on, like we have a mad trip every time we go away and do like these cool launches, and yeah, there's always heaps of stories that come out of them. They're fun. But I've worked in pubs. I've been glassy. I've been behind the bar before. My first job in Melbourne was Elf and Wheelbarrow. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Fitzroy Street. So
Yeah.
my friend who I used to race Carrera Cup against, he actually owned all of them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I walked up to him one day and I said, "Hey, can I have a job?" He goes, "Yeah, sure." So I just started the next week.
Yeah.
I did Friday, Saturday night there, and it was like a backpacker bar.
Yeah, it's rough.
Rough as.
That would be
rough.
real fun though.
People fucking in the toilets all
Yeah.
the time. I'm like,
Why are
had to go break
backpackers
it up,
so
knock on the door,
randy?
like-
Isn't that weird?
It was just full on. Like,
Is that was because apparently, and I don't know if this is true or not, but the cast from Neighbours,
Yeah.
you I did this one.
I went there one night for
would
that.
always go down.
the neighbours tour bus would always go there on like a Wednesday or Thursday night or something.
Right.
Because all the English backpackers used to stay there or next
Yeah.
door. And obviously, Neighbours isn't very big in Australia, but it's
Yes,
huge
in the UK.
makes no sense.
And Dr.
eh?
Carl had his band there. I
Yeah.
remember it,
Well, a lot of the younger guys who were on Neighbours would used to go to the pub because they knew the Neighbours bus was
Yeah.
there,
My
and they'd
gosh.
pick up roots and shit, and or be banging in the dunnies or some shit crazy like that, which I love. Like,
Yeah.
how sad is that? It's like, guys, we need to get some, you know.
Yeah.
Toadfish is here again.
Oh, that was who it was as well.
I think he was a regular.
Yeah.
I think. I never worked those
Yuck.
days, but I was always Friday, Saturday night. So.
Right.
But it was weird because you walk in there at night time and walk out in daytime. It's like, fuck, it's like 5 a.m. and staff drinks have happened and you're half pissed and then you go home. So.
You go home with Toadie. Yeah, big night. Yeah.
Big night.
Hold
I
on to
went
that
home with Stingray.
ponytail.
I got some fucking
I've had
standards.
one of my first jobs besides selling fireworks, I used to, I was a delivery boy for a pharmacy. When I
Oh,
was 16,
okay.
And I used to ride my bike.
Fastest medicine gets you under
Yeah,
3 seconds.
100%. Got told off for being too fast.
Oh, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, shame on
For
them. Egg on
speeding?
their face.
Well, for like delivering the stuff too quick and
They're like, brother, take it easy. We're getting paid by the hour here. What the fuck's this guy going fast
I
for?
swear I was just delivering Viagra to all the old blokes around town. That was it.
Was that what it was?
Well, I assume so.
Yeah.
Got to get them to them quick.
Yeah, yeah.
You're welcome. No
Guys,
one's
I
ever.
fucking need it now.
Come on.
She's in the room. I can only hide in the toilet for
Get
so
in there
long.
before days of our lives start.
You're dropping it off to me and my broken dick. It's purple. Is it going to fix it? I don't know. I need an ultrasound. Take me to the hospital.
Oh my god, I've learned a lot today between car racing and also Brett's dick. And I
It's probably not a
am.
good episode to listen to.
Imagine all that. It was I can't wait to hear about David Reynolds. It's just me going.
I know. People are
Knob
so
for 15
upset.
minutes.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, guys. I've ruined this episode. I
You got
have.
too excited. It's you know when like a kid gets too excited about
I
Christmas and then they
know,
vomit
I know,
or something.
I know.
That's what
I'm
happened
a
to you.
child. I'm a child. I get excited around
You've ruined
drivers.
Christmas.
This is my Christmas.
I know
Um,
that. And you've done a pretty good job, Bretty. You only rolled your eyes at me about 6 times.
I know. No, but it's good
No,
now.
I think you've done well.
I think you've done well.
Very well.
Me?
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because
I think
also
you
you've asked
guys
questions
were-
that, for the general public,
Okay, what was the worst thing I said?
Nothing. I think everything you said was great.
You know,
The
it's in
worst
your
thing you
head.
did-
The question.
the
How
worst
far
thing you did was run over your fucking daughter.
Hey. What were you? You had an answer to my question. What's the worst thing that I
You're
said?
going to ask, like, how far is Bathurst 1000?
That's
But that
I
was-
didn't know why it was called Bathurst 1000. I thought it was called Bathurst. I
That's
didn't
the
know.
town.
But you guys never said Bathurst 1000.
I
As if
actually
I'd
We
did.
just
fucking
talk
know.
Bathurst like there's only one race in Bathurst.
There's only one race.
Oh, okay. Sorry. As if I fucking
We
knew
got her on
that.
the, it's good.
Oh my
It's
God.
good. I love.
We got
I
to
was
this
annoyed on the
point.
last episode. Now we've wound Bron up. So this is good. Bron,
I'm
you've done
so-
a
No,
great job.
no, you know
I
what?
feel
I
like
was
you've
like-
learned heaps this episode. I'm
You
proud
guys
of you.
were pretty nice to me throughout this. I thought you guys were going to be mean. And then we got to the end and I was like, thanks for not being mean to me. And then you guys were like, hold on, we've got one
Remember
mean
this
thing
dumb
to say.
thing you said 30 minutes ago?
You know how you didn't know it was called Bathurst 1000? No, I didn't know it was called Bathurst 1000. I also, did you guys mention Summer Nats? Is that called Summer Nats 1000? No, is it?
Called Summer Nats, yeah. It's not Summer Nats 1000.
Oh,
no,
okay.
It's just the Summer Nats.
Okay. Oh, is it?
Summer
Yeah, there's
Nats,
not-
yeah. Because it's in summer. And they have a winter Nats.
They
They
do
have-
not.
They
In
do.
Canberra?
Yeah, they used to.
Didn't you know that?
I didn't know that.
You
They've got-
fucking know
didn't
that.
fucking know
You
that.
fucking idiot.
I didn't
You
fucking know that.
That's so embarrassing. Oh my
They've
God.
got-
I hope my dad's not watching this episode. I'll be
So-
out of the will.
They've also
Oh.
got the red Centre Nats. Guess where that is?
Red Centre.
Where's that?
Where's that, Brett?
In the centre of Australia, that's red.
Alice Springs.
Alice Springs, there you go.
What the fuck?
Do
That was
they? In
hard.
Springs.
So Alice, that's actually something different because they give a pass to every car, no matter if it's unregistered whatsoever, for 4 days. So you
Oh.
can drive a like 10,000 horsepower car around the
Okay.
streets for 4 days. Yeah. So it's rock.
That'd
It's
be
quite
Well,
cool.
that's pretty much everyone in our is driving around an unregistered car in that fucking town. It's a fucking wild town, dude.
It is a
Yeah,
wild
it's a
town.
It
wild
is a
West.
very,
So don't
very,
stay out at night.
No, it is a scary town. But the only thing
Have you been there?
I have, yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Fink race.
Ah.
Yeah, Fink Desert Race.
That's the thing you made me watch when we started. That's what you had it on the background. It was in a different part.
Everyone thinks I'm psychotic because even I was in Thailand, and the Fink Desert Race is really hard to watch. Like Supercars, you got coverage, you got driver cams. It's fucking awesome. You can see where everyone is, the times they're doing. Fink, you watch like 30 minutes of it, and then you don't see them for like 8 hours, and then you're following tracking things. So I was in Thailand and I was on my phone watching Walshy get across the line for his fucking third title. But it was all data sheets and people were like, what the fuck are you doing? And we're on a speedboat.
I'm working it out.
I'm like, shut the fuck
Rayman.
up. Shut the fuck up. I'm looking at the data sheets. I'm like, I'm going to go. He's coming across the line. And it was like, we don't give a fuck. We're going to Pig Island in Thailand.
Yeah.
Pig Island.
We're going to Pig Island on a speedboat. And I told the captain,
Thailand?
I was like, get closer to the shore, cunt. I've got no fucking reception. I was getting angry at him because I couldn't see who was winning. Anyway.
Hey.
How cool's Thailand?
It is actually pretty cool.
One of the best places in the world.
I thoroughly love it, and I've always had a good time because you can't really get in trouble there.
Do you know it's called Thailand 1000? You fucking idiot.
Oh, it's called Thailand 1000.
No,
I didn't realise.
Shame on you. Fuck, all done.
Well, David, thank you very much for joining us. Is there anything you would like to plug on the podcast?
Cars.
Your car.
My car, the Tradie Beer. Car, number 20, Team 18. Give us a shout out.
Hell yeah.
Come talk to me. Anytime.
Come say good to David. Talk to Dave about my broken dick. He'll love that.
Come talk to me. Meet my family. Meet my crazy kids. They're hilarious.
Oh, that's awesome. That's beautiful. See, that's actually really nice.
My kid's funny.
Yeah, your kids are funny.
Oh,
you got two?
Two.
A boy and a girl.
3.5 named Ryu, and he's hilarious. He's out of control.
Yeah.
Swears in like Kinderus and everything like that. And
Perfect.
Hilarious.
I love when you're having a good day on the racetrack and your wife puts videos of him being like, that's my dad.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Never got clothes on. Never.
What for?
Can't keep clothes on him to save his life.
That's actually, he's got time to celebrate. Well, hopefully nothing ever happens to his little Willie. If
Hopefully
he does,
not.
Brett knows
I'll
a great place for
he got the
ultrasounds.
fake rolling pin the other day, and he found like rolling it was really hilarious. So he's running around the house rolling his penis,
just like his dad, trying to stretch it out and make it look bigger. Yeah.
Okay, this has been another episode of Work Haze. Thanks so much for coming, David.
We
Thanks,
appreciate
Bretty.
it.
Thanks, so guys.
Bye. I've been fired from a lot of places. I've been fired from so many places.
I went into the class one day, real bullets. Kill me.